Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever one it happens to be for you. I hope you're doing very well. So, we've heard from the owners, we've heard from the CEO, and we've heard from the manager. But what are Tottenham trying to build? This is what we're going to be talking about today. So, let's get into it. So, I think there's a lot of discourse online about what Tottenham are going to do in the summer. What are they trying to build? And for me, after finishing at 17th, there needs to be some major changes with how Tottenham go about their business. I think that for me, it will be a case of looking at how we recruit, what our plan is to actually do with this team, where we want to push forward, how we're going to push forward. So, of course, it's very difficult because what the fans actually want versus what will actually happen are two different things. So, of course, a lot of our fans want a lot of our players out, which is understandable. There are a lot of players that need to go, 100%. But when it comes down to it, it isn't always as easy as that. And we know that these things will take time. So when people are saying they want Porro out, for instance, now that's all well and good because you obviously maybe think that Porro's not a good enough player. But my point would be we're creating a problem that we don't need to create right now. And I think that they're not going to want to solve. So they've already actually come out and said they want to keep Porro, but that's by the by. But I just think, like I say, again, someone like a Dogi, we know he is very injury prone, doesn't play a lot of games, probably does need to go. But right now, is that our priority? Probably not. So what our fans' expectations are versus what we're actually going to do are two different things, in my opinion. There's also the case of what players are we going to get. So the type of player we're going to get, in my opinion, will be somebody who is a decent quality. We're not going to get them still above other certain teams regardless, no matter what position we're in, because certain teams will always get the certain players, if you like. There's like a hierarchy, in my opinion. We can definitely get players off certain teams. There's definitely teams that we can go to abroad and get the players 100%. But I do think that we have to be realistic with what we currently are as a team. And I think a lot of people maybe they get like a really kind of idea in their head, we're Tottenham, we're this big club. Yeah, we are a big club. We're on, like, in my opinion, the third tier of big clubs. But the point is that where we finished for the last two seasons also impacts how we're viewed as a club, and the fact we haven't got no Europe will impact again on what a player might see us as a club, what we're currently doing and where we're currently going. So I do think we have to be mindful of that as well. The transfer targets that we are looking at, a lot of people are saying that nothing's changed because we're going for Morgan's Good White. We looking at getting Robertson. It looks like he will be done, and Senesi, who we already were in for before we got the Zebi. For me, I think that players will be approved by a manager. I think that they will say, do you want this player? Because if he's a good player, then, I mean, so for Senesi, for instance, if he's a good player and the manager doesn't want him, fair enough. But I'm assuming that the manager will want a good player like Senesi, if you get what I mean. So I think that he will be approved 100% by the manager before they go ahead. So I do think he has some say. But has the overall way that we do transfer business changed? Well, I feel like that's yet to be seen. We have to wait and see if that happens. I'm not sure that it will happen, but we'll have to wait and see. I think that we definitely need to be going and getting these players done, dusted. We're again linked to someone like Morgan's Good White, which I don't think is going to happen. But we're linked with him again. Like I say, again, he's a really good player. So I don't think any manager would say no to him. But people are saying, have things changed? Well, we don't know yet. The proof is obviously in the pudding. We'll have to wait and see how our transfer window goes and what by the end of it we have and what players that we don't have. So yeah, I think that we have that one sort of a wait and see. With De Zerbi, I think that he really is a fantastic manager. He really is a good manager. He's very emotional, passionate, and I love the things that he's come out and said. A lot of things he said are really been well received. Sorry, by a lot of the fans, and me included in that. Maddison, I think, come out and said that he would be up all night, De Zerbi, talking with his team about games, strategizing, speaking about things. So he is very, very like obsessed with it, which is good because he's obviously very detailed and very into it. The team that we see playing before the end of the season, I don't think is what De Zerbi wants. I think that he does want to make changes because his system is quite complicated. And he said he gave like a simpler version of that. He gave them instructions, but not too much because he wanted to make sure that the players actually got through to them what they were supposed to be doing, and sort of simplify it. So I think that De Zerbi is going to come in, and I do think he is a bit of a game changer in a way because I do think that he is a very, very good manager, and I think that we must stick by him. I think that we need to give him time. I think that we need to give him what he needs. But like I say, I do think that consistency is very, very important. Everybody who has kept their managers from a Palace to a, obviously them not down the road, Liverpool, when you look at Pep at Man City, the most successful managers, the ones that actually have done well, have been the ones that have been there for a longer amount of time. And obviously doing well depends on what your status is as a club. So Crystal Palace, Glasner's done fantastic for them. He's won them a Community Shield and 2 other trophies. So I think a European trophy and a cup. So I feel like he has done extremely well at Crystal Palace in the grand scheme of things. So I think that we've done enough swapping of managers. Let's be honest, we've gone from having Nuno and Conte and Jose. I think that and Frank, I think that we really, really need to settle down now and stick with a manager because I think that is the key to building something, in my opinion. I think like the consistency is key. And I think that he is a very good manager to stick with. With Frank, I just don't think he was the right manager. I think we made a massive mistake with him, but by the by, I think that really they need to stick with this manager because I do believe he is a very good manager. And of course, we have heard it all before. Be patient. This is a project. This is a rebuild. And of course, fans aren't going to trust that. And I understand that. I don't trust it neither. For me, it's about actions and not words. I want them to do something. I want them to show me something. I think that they have spoken enough. They've spoken enough out on media. They've spoken enough out and putting like things, that statements out. I think that is now it's now a case of they have to show us something. And I get a lot of people are impatient. A lot of people are saying, well, I don't want to wait. I've been told to wait. I've been told there's a project. I've been told there's a rebuild. However many times I've had enough. And I get that. And I completely understand that. I really do. I really do think that people have really distanced themselves with how they feel about Tottenham due to what's been going on at Spurs. And I understand. I'm never criticising anybody for feeling that way. But I do think that we have got the potential to do something if they do this correctly. So the owners, they can talk the talk, but can they walk the walk? That's the thing. They always are talking, as I just said, but now is the chance to actually prove it and actually build something. Because I believe with what can be done, we can build something 100%. With the right players for De Zerbi, keeping Roberto De Zerbi and making sure that you give him a good squad and not just a good team, I think that he can definitely do something at Tottenham, for sure. I think that he can take us up that table further. I think that he can get us into cup finals and win those cup finals because I think he is actually a very good manager. And I think he believes in himself. And I think that is really good. And I think that he emanates that on to the players as well. So I think absolutely we can build something. But the point is that's down to the people in charge of everything. We have to make sure that our scouting is improved. We have to make sure that our medical team is improved. We have to make sure these players are on the regime for their fitness and for their recovery, everything they do, whatever they put into their bodies, because all of that matters. All of these things matter. There's so many little elements to it, and there's so many elements that have gone wrong in this process that has resulted with us being where we currently are. So I really do think that we can do better. I believe that we are able to, like I say, improve 100%. And I think that slowly we can improve massively if we stick to a project and if we build correctly. But let me know what you think. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know if there's any talking points that you disagree with. I would love to hear your opinions, what you're saying about this rebuild and about this project. Of course, we're all going to be sceptical. We're Tottenham fans. So I think that that's always going to be part of it. But I'm hoping. All I can do is hope, I guess. I don't really know what else I've got. So take very good care of yourselves, and we'll speak again real soon.